So what would be the number one coping mechanism that you would use to get out of your own head?
Honestly, what comes to my mind is laughing. It has so many benefits, not just like coping with the stressful situation, but just like physical benefits. It lowers cortisol, right? It releases those endorphins, gives you that pause in between so you can kind of like laugh a little bit and then think of what your next reply might be, or there's a lot there with it. What do you think?
I mean, I love it. I think that's the number one thing that has ever really worked for me, to be able to not go back and rethink about conversations that I've had or things. Hold on, let me fix this. Or things that have been like going on that I may feel anxious about. If I can just laugh about it, then I accept it. You know, it's more so like, dude, I can't believe I did that. That was crazy, you know,
and hilarious.
Yeah. You know, because then it's like you're giving yourself that break. You're giving yourself that ability to say like, okay, I'm human. Things happen. And sometimes they're freaking funny. Like, yeah, they can be embarrassing, but are you going to be thinking about this a year from now?
Exactly.
Are you going to be thinking about it 5 years from now?
Probably
Maybe
not, though.
I mean,
right?
if it's a significant moment, let's say you're having an interview, right?
Yeah.
And you mess up in something. Okay, whether you get the interview or not, you have to be able to change the way that you think about it, because otherwise it's going to be a fear memory. It's going to cause anxiety versus, I can't believe that happened. That was crazy.
Right. And that's a good point, because it's like you're turning the high stress situation to something a little bit more lighthearted. And then that way you're not remembering this like, oh my God, you know, this is what happened. You're remembering like, yeah, that sucks. But you know what? I was able to laugh through it and it ended up being okay. And look at me 5 years, you know, from that point, and I'm okay.
Right,
like I'm not even thinking about this, you know, kind of thing. So I love that as a strategy.
Absolutely. And it's, I mean, 100 bad days is 100 good stories, you know? So it's like, you can't get through life perfectly. It's not going to happen. But are you going to be living in that moment of embarrassment or shame, or, you know, how could that have happened? Oh my goodness. Like, what kind of mindset are you choosing for that event? You know, when perhaps it's something that you couldn't even control.
Yeah. And it's funny because like I always hear you just laughing, you know, like I'll walk past a room or something and you're just like cracking up about something, and you use that all the time. Laughing through something. It's like, it just comes naturally to you, I think.
Well, now, right? Because I've just accepted the fact that things are going to happen that I have no control over. And if I can see the humor in it, then it just rolls right off my back. You know what I mean? I don't sit there like, I mean, sometimes, yes, I get stuck about a situation, but I'm super lucky because my husband has the same type of approach to things. So I'll come to him and I'll be like, okay, you need to rescue me from myself right now. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you and you need to help me out of this situation. Right. You know, so he'll say something that will make me laugh. And then whether we solve the issue or not, he'll say something goofy that's going to make me laugh and just immediately make things so much easier to just handle.
Yeah, make you feel better just in that moment, being able to use humor and laughter as a way to cope, to give yourself that space to be able to relax a little bit and move on. And maybe then be able to talk about the seriousness of it. But first, just let it go a little bit, right? Like it's maybe not even that serious.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking about like, why is it easy for me to sort of be in that mindset where I can just laugh about it? I think it's because I've accepted the fact that I am a goofy person, you know? So it's like, I'm not stupid or a mess up or a klutz. I'm just a goofy ass person. This is how I live my life. And if I can accept that I'm just going to end up in goofy situations doing goofy stuff, then I can react to it appropriately and say, okay, well, this is what you get, you know? So it's not as much like pressure on me to be this person that I've decided I'm going to be. Funny shit happens to me and I can't help but laugh at it.
Right. Like taking yourself a little bit less seriously in a way. Maybe not in all situations, but in some of them.
When funny stuff happens, when embarrassing stuff happens.
When it's appropriate kind of thing, right? Yeah. It's really easy to always want to set that standard that everything's just so serious and we should always be so hyper-focused on stuff. But why?
Exactly. I mean, if it was something within your control, you know, then you can reflect on that and say, okay, like I got to fix that. That wasn't great. But if it's something that was an accident, especially, you know, you embarrassed yourself, something, you fell, something, you know, like I can fall and be like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I can't believe that happened. Everybody's looking at me. Or I can go, this literally could have happened to anybody. And I tripped over a rug
hilarious.
or on a piece of ice. And the way that I fell was, hopefully nobody gets hurt, right?
Yes.
The way that I fell could have been hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, like, are you freaking serious right now,
like,
dude?
this is a movie moment. So, like, let's actually, like, laugh about it versus taking it so seriously.
What is it called? Like the main character moment?
Right,
or
exactly.
main, you know, whatever vibe. Yeah, main character
slip
vibe.
or whatever it
like,
may be.
this is ridiculous. You know, so then you get up and that moment after, when you look at yourself almost from like a third person, like, dude, this is actually a funny moment.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, how many embarrassing things do you remember about your friends? Like that you could just bring up off the top of your head?
Probably not many.
That's right. Because
Like,
nobody
seriously.
cares.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to remember your stuff. You remember your own stuff because it's your own life. But when I ask you to look back and like have some kind of, you know, Rolodex of thoughts that you have. I remember
There
this
it
person
is.
did this.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. They laugh in the moment if it's funny. And you get to kind of run the situation here. You take control of it.
Yeah,
If
you
you get
take
up and
control.
start laughing also because it's
Then
goofy.
they start laughing.
They
Yes.
have the permission to also
Right.
join that with you. But if you react in a weird way where it's like, oh, no, oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
Then they're like,
then they
I'm
don't
so
know how to
sorry or
react
something.
either.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what do we do? Do we calm
Right.
you? Like, it's okay. You know, so it's, you truly choose how you're going to remember your life, remember yourself. And honestly, this is a choice.
Absolutely.
I choose to take it for what it is.
Exactly. You're setting the tone for every situation that happens to you, right? And if you set that tone to just be a little more lighthearted and you kind of laugh it off, that's perfect.
Absolutely.